Howdy, Rebel fans. Welcome to episode 15 of the Rebel Nation Conversation. I am Umrebelfan69. My co-host is the Metal Rep. Together we make up the Rebel Nation Conversation podcast. Your one-stop shop for uninformed and non-expert Ole Miss sports conversation. Metal?
Unsullied by sponsorship since 2025.
Exactly. And as usual, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, you already know where to be. But to those catching us on TikTok, be sure to go to our YouTube channel. It's located right there in that link above me. But it is youtube.com/@the-RN-Convo. Kind of just touching back. Also would like to apologize a little bit for not doing a show last week. We had some slight scheduling conflicts there that, given that we would be able to still get this show taped today before the national championship game, we felt it was all right to take a week off. But we're back now. Metal, how's it been since we last taped here, man? Been going good?
Well, yeah, it was. I mean, we were disappointed last week for sure. I could tell you were down bad. I just didn't know if we had the heart to do a show last week, but it's all right, man. I mean,
but
a few days have passed, and I've been able to, I guess, reflect a little bit. And man, what a great season! What a great season. Obviously, we wish we were in, Miami right now, but we're not.
Yeah, it come down to me. I was a little heartbroken and everything about it, but that honestly didn't have a whole lot to do with not taping last Sunday. It just
I know.
I was doing some other things down there on the coast. I was trying to go and eat dinner with some friends of ours, and I was like, well, let's see if he still wants to tape or not, But obviously, yeah, I mean, did not want to see the magic stop, man. It was just too fun a ride, man. We hadn't been there in our lifetime, and, man, it was just a lot of fun.
It was.
I got to tip my hat to the Miami Hurricanes, man. I said going in the last tape, and I said one thing we got to say is if we consider Texas A&M having a great offense, which we have pretty much did all year long, we thought they were a pretty good team. Then we had to also say Miami shut them down. Had a legit defense, and so pretty much I feel they have a legit defense, man. So Ole Miss loses to Miami in the Fiesta Bowl 31-27. The stats, though, I mean, they were relatively even in the game. Miami had the slight edge in total yards. Ole Miss had a slight edge in passing. Miami, again, about 70 yards more rushing yards than us. One stat that did stand out, and I'll see what you think about, was third downs. Miami was 11 of 19. Ole Miss was only 2 of 10. Which, Metal, that means to me we just couldn't get off the field on defense.
Yeah, there's your game right there. That's the stat of the night, in my opinion. And, not only could we not get off the field on defense, but we couldn't stay on the field on offense.
Yeah.
And,
I just did feel like our offense just couldn't get in a rhythm all night. I mean, it was a great defense. I felt like they played an awesome game, and we never could get in that consistent rhythm like we got in all the other games in the year.
Yeah. I think we had, I want to say, you may have the numbers in front of you, but 398 total yards.
398 to 459 was the, so they had 61 yards more total yards than us.
And, other than T1 Lacey's long run in the first quarter,
Started the second, wasn't it? It might have been
was it
first.
start of the second quarter?
I thought it was. I saw.
Well, I know at whatever point of the game he had his run, it was a 73-yard run. And after his run, we had 72 total yards.
Well, it was
So,
121 total rushing yards.
yeah, but I mean, at that point of the game, we had 72 total yards of offense. And so the first quarter, other than that run, they really shut us down. But after that, man, we started look like an Ole Miss offense to me. They
Here's another.
played well, just couldn't convert third downs.
Obviously, another stat that's poked out at me real big time. But again, this was not being able to get off field on third down on defense and not staying on the field on the offense was time of possession. 41-22 for Miami, 18-38 for Ole Miss. I mean,
That's crazy.
that is dead crazy.
That's crazy. You're not winning.
And
You're
then
not
also
winning like
couple
that.
this on the third down as well. Let's add something to that. Fourth downs, they were 2 for 2. So there's 2 more possessions. We couldn't get off field on fourth down either.
Yeah.
So,
So even when
but
they
we
don't
did.
convert third down, 2 of those times, which were rare, but 2 of those they convert anyway on fourth down. So, and I think it
If you
was
had,
obvious if we're being objective, the line of scrimmage they dominated the line of scrimmage, man. We just grit and
yeah,
determination kept us in the game, but they were at the point of attack. They got us. There ain't no doubt about
yeah.
it. And I was
Now,
a little surprised at being that outmatched on the line of scrimmage after we held up with Georgia, but we weren't.
that helped.
And it was another one of those games, and I really don't want to get off into this part too much. Maybe we can address this later, but it was another one of those games where Pete just would not bring pressure. We
Well, we sacked
rushed.
them 4 times.
We did, but it just it didn't.
It didn't affect the game.
It didn't. No, it definitely didn't affect the game. And
We sack them on first down, and they make a big play on second, or something.
yeah,
That's what it. We couldn't make it mean anything. But yeah, and obviously, there was one pretty bad missed call there to end the game. But man, you call that pass interference. That's pass interference. There was no doubt about it if you look at. But if you call it, there ain't no guarantee we score. I mean, on the next play, we'd have had to score a touchdown. We're down 4. So I mean, I thought pretty well on that the game was officiated, fairly even. I'm not going to sit here and harp on that. Too many people do that, and I've never been one to blame refs. I thought they did okay in the game. That was obviously a missed call, no doubt, but that doesn't guarantee we score in the next one. Puts us one play puts us 15 yards closer to the end zone, but less time on the clock. We might have got 2 plays off. I don't think we would have.
yeah, and there were dummies on the board saying we'd have had the ball at the 2-yard line. No, that's not true. It would have been at the 20-yard line. It's 15-yard penalties, not a spot foul.
No, they might be right. They might be right. Any penalty committed in the end zone, by rule, the ball was spotted at the 2.
No, that's not correct.
No, that is correct.
That's not correct.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-mm.
We'll just have to agree to disagree. But in college,
Well,
if there's
no,
any by rule,
I'm gonna look this up right now because I am really gonna be upset if that's the case. Because having the ball at the 2-yard line versus the 20, I mean, I really like our chances from the 2-yard line. trying to figure out how to search this.
Offensive fouls like holding, often resulting in as outlined, holding some foul, placing the ball. Actually, defensive pass interference. This is a spot for the defense in their own end zone, which is what that was. This is a spot foul, replacing the ball at the 1 yard line with an automatic first down for the offense, or half the distance of the line of scrimmage was inside the 2.
Is that college rules or NFL?
No, it's just college rules. For the defense in their own end zone. This is a spot foul. It's defensive pass. Other personal fouls, this can be offense, the succeeding spot, depending on the situation per incident. There's other rules. But defensive pass interference is a spot foul, placing the ball at the 1 yard line with an automatic first down to the offense. Unlike the automatic touchdown for defensive pass interference in the end zone, college rules places the ball at the 1 yard line, giving the offense a chance to score. I forgot about that. It was in the end zone.
Results in automatic first down at the spot of the foul with reinforcement capped in the 15-yard line.
We'll dig into that more later on. But at the end of the time, I still think the game was called pretty evenly the rest of the game. What do you think?
We didn't lose the game on officiating. There was another on Miami's game-winning drive, just a horrible non-call on a hold. They had 2nd and 10. I think it was around the 50-yard line. My brother sent me a video the next day, just beside himself. But it was a very obvious hold that they missed. It would have made it 2nd and 20 around midfield. Who knows? That could change things, but they didn't call it.
And that's part of football. That's another thing. That's what I try to tell people.
Yeah.
Bad calls are part of football, and we got our share of good calls as well throughout the year. And so I'm not going to sit there and harp on that, and I'm not taking nothing away from Miami and their win because of it. So, anything else you want to talk about on the Fiesta?
Not really, man. I've still tried to pretend like that game didn't exist, and Georgia was a national championship game. That's the way I'm going to see it in my mind.
Well, Georgia was a fun game, ain't no doubt. But well, while we're there, man, let's head real quickly on into the other semifinal matchup in the college football playoff. It was the Peach Bowl between Indiana and Oregon. All Hoosiers in this one. Indiana wins 56-22. But believe it or not, this one, did you look at the doggone stats on that? This was really close. All over the place. Oregon actually outgained Indiana in total yards and had over 100 more yards in passing than Indiana. But pretty much every stat that we look at to see who controlled the game, it was relatively easy, even except for one. Turnovers. Oregon turned the ball over 3 times. 2 times were fumbles, and the other was on the very first play. A 25-yard pick six interception that pretty much set the tone for the rest of the ball game.
Well, did you see the stuff going around about Indiana cheating and having access to opponents' scripted plays or whatever it was? Did you see that?
I have not.
Dude, this season, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to tell you I don't think they're cheating. But this is an unbelievable stat I'm about to tell you. They have, from what I read, unless I'm just crazy and misread it, but it looked like, from what I read, Indiana has, in 4 games this season, converted a pick six on the opponent's opening possession of the game when they're running their scripted plays. 4 games.
Wow.
If you look at the interception against Oregon the other night, the defensive back never hesitated. He knew what that play was. Just go back and look at it and then tell me he was so certain of what that play was going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I saw the play, and it definitely looked like he read it right, But that's what it looked like. He just read it, and bam, it was there. It happened right. But
4 pick sixes all on the opening drives. Maybe it's just one of those quirky stats, man. I don't know. I don't want to take anything away from them because they're dominant. But we couldn't beat that team. We could not beat that team. They look elite everywhere in every phase of the game.
yeah. I don't know. I like our chances against anybody this year. I ain't gonna lie to you. Which is an odd thing. This was just one of them teams, man. It just man, it was a fun year. Just
Yeah, it was.
see it in. I mean, I pretty much agree that we probably wouldn't have beat Indiana, but I wanted to play. God, I wanted to play in that game. I was going to be there. You and I both talked about we're going to be there if it ain't but a second mortgage on the house. Whatever we got to do, we're going. I wanted to play.
Okay, here it is. I was looking for this. I knew I was not crazy. College puts the ball at the 2-yard line if the snap came from between the defense's 2 and 17-yard line.
Well, that ain't what I got in my rule book here, but that's all right. It don't matter now. So I'll dive into that even further. I'll dive into that even further. I'll look at the actual rules, but I've always heard any penalty inside, but it could be where the original snap is from.
Yeah.
But like you said though, we didn't lose that game on the officiating. So, but moving on. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say back to the other game, man. Indiana. Some guy on our board said this thing with Indiana doesn't pass the smell test, and I guess he was referring to the cheating stuff, which it never got off the ground. It circulated for a day or two, and then it was gone. I don't believe that story. I don't think it's accurate. It just is kind of ironic. Some of the things that were pointed out.
Well, I mean, defenses, you try to read plays and you watch their film and you see them play 14 games or 15 games, and by that time it'd have been, yep, this was their. They're definitely going to be.
Well, they're going to have tendencies.
Some similarities.
Everybody does. Everybody has tendencies, and one thing all those Indiana players have in common when they're interviewed, I've noticed, is they talk about the preparation. Maybe they're just better at it than everybody. I don't know.
I like Cignetti. I know that.
I do too.
Cignetti a lot.
I do too.
So that sets us up to the national championship game between Indiana and Miami. And I said it months ago that if Ole Miss can't win it all, I hope Indiana does. I have no reason to change my thoughts on that right now. But, you know why. So that's what we talked about. We like Cignetti. We like the way he's doing it.
Yeah.
He's recruiting a lot out of high school, and he's coaching these boys up. 72nd composite. The number 77. Yeah, my tongue ain't working. 72nd composite ranked roster, and he's undefeated with them, playing for a national championship. That's coaching.
Yep. And I love this guy, man. They asked him yesterday, what will it mean if Indiana wins the game tomorrow night? He said, it means we'll be national champions. he he's like the football version of Bobby Knight. There is no nonsense, no feels, thrills with this guy. And it's ironic they both coached at Indiana, but
Yeah, that's what I
Coach
was
Knight would
thinking.
have loved this guy, man.
I'm not the
Yeah,
basketball guy, but I was sitting there thinking, didn't he coach at Indiana? I mean, I remember watching
yeah,
Bobby Knight throw chairs and stuff, but I thought it was Indiana.
yep, he did.
I
He
again
did.
though, I hope Indiana. Kind of think Indiana wins the game. That's who I think wins the game. That's who I want to win the game. But I do think, as I said a while ago, Miami's got a legit defense. Because we both know we have a legit offense, and they kept us off rhythm all game. So I think, I think that they'll make it a better game, and some of the people I've out there seen uh, predicting this, are not really predicting. Everybody's out there talking about an Indiana runaway. I think Miami's defense keeps them in the game,
Yeah.
keeps it close, especially the first half. But I do think in the second half, what are you thinking? I think maybe two scores, somewhere like the 35-21. I think that Indiana can outpace them in the second half, but it's that defense
That's
gets tired, But
that sounds about right. I think what people cannot get out of their minds is the way Indiana has just manhandled Oregon and Alabama. Two good programs. I mean, nobody does to Alabama what they did to Alabama. It was dominant. It was men among men versus boys. And so that is stuck in people's mind, and they don't see any reason why it ought to be different tomorrow night.
well, again, I'm a defensive guy. I always think that defenses keeps you in a ball game, and it keeps you. If you've got a good defense, it keeps you where you can strike. And that's why I think that Miami will keep it close. But I still think that as the defense wears out in the second half, that Indiana makes this a two-score game. Now, you can name that score whichever one you want. I just picked 35-21. I feel like it's a 10 to 14 point game, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Two scores easy. But I think it's going to be close.
And that sounds right.
But
that sounds right to me. And like you, I hope that's what happens.
Yeah, I want to see a good game. I want to see a good game. I want to see if this playoff was legit all the way down. The best teams won. Well, that pretty much does that for me as far as I'm on, because we're not in it. We'd have a lot more to say if Ole Miss was in it, but get back to the Ole Miss conversation. Portal news. You happy with it?
I think so. All things considered, I really think we've done probably better than a lot of people were counting on in every by any metric you want to use. We had a top 3 or 4 portal class. Every ranking I've seen has us in the top 5. That's pretty good.
Yep.
And
all right, on the incoming side of this, obviously the one that I am really, because this ties into what else I want to talk about, but we got to hope this damn Taj Butler from Georgia Tech, linebacker, we better hope that son gun can play ball.
we got the other kid too, Farrelly.
This TJ Daugherty crap, And let's go into this. TJ Daugherty and Umon Mielon, to me, both of those players, I know, but I'm not trying to say that they were all Americans, first team All Americans, guys. But we're not exactly known as being linebacker you. We got one guy on our team that I truly think was an outstanding linebacker, and we couldn't use him as one all year, as a true linebacker, and that's Sonny Perkins. We had to use him as a spy all year because he was the only one that could fill that role well. So yeah, I think we're going to miss Daughtry. I honestly do. So
Well, I do too. I mean, he's a guy with a ton of experience. He was the green dot guy. Um, Perkins, I cannot for the life of me figure out why he has ever played anything other than just a true outside linebacker or inside linebacker his entire career at Ole Miss. I just cannot get it. That's what his size says that he
yeah,
is.
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I agree, but he's the only one that's built to be anything in that, as a linebacker to me. And he's an athlete from, of amazing capabilities. I actually feel like using him as a spy, we've done him a major disservice
Oh
for
yeah,
going
I
to
do
the next,
too.
going to the next level. I want it, but I'm hoping scouts still see his ability. Anybody
I
else?
I believe they will.
So, I mean, all right. So, other than that, here's one that kind of obviously the adding Walker Howard. You know,
I don't get that at all.
well, we lost Simmons. I get the move because he ain't coming in to start, and he knows he ain't coming in to start. But he is coming in here to be a backup, and as of right now, it'll be a backup to probably Deuce Knight, which I feel like is a good acquisition. Is getting him back. We wanted him as out of high school. We
Yeah.
went after him pretty hard.
Are you a little surprised that he's okay with coming in, knowing that he's only going to have a package of plays, or knowing good and well he's not the guy?
Who Deuce?
Yeah.
Oh, he's the
He,
guy,
he,
all right. If we can't get this waiver,
dude, I'm not even
he'll.
going to entertain a world where we don't get the waiver right now. Because if that happens, I mean, we're 6-6 football team.
Yeah, I don't know. Deuce might surprise you with the right OC. I just don't know. I know Lane wanted him. So here's another good one. One of your a boy from your part of the world, Otis.
Yep.
Uh,
We got Otis, for better or worse.
I know you wasn't really wanting him to begin with,
Well,
but I mean,
I just didn't want to overpay for him, and I don't think we did. Doesn't sound like we did. I just don't think, and I hope the kid proves me wrong. And I hope this time next year we're talking about his draft stock. But why does everybody think that he's suddenly gonna wake up and turn the switch on and play? I mean, nothing has changed. And at this point, I don't know if there's a way to go in and flip that switch in a kid, man.
I don't know.
I hope
We'll
there is.
see.
Like I said, I hope I'm wrong.
Well, Pete being a defensive guy, and a change in defensive coordinator, all that I don't know. It can definitely change. Outgoing transfers. Let's talk about that a little bit. Obviously, the one that entered the play, the portal yesterday hurts my feelings pretty damn bad. I know it got you, but Caden Lee, uh, obviously not signed nowhere, but he's there. TJ Daugherty in there, that hurts. I mean, it just does. Especially, he's going to, from what I could tell, probably LSU, and I don't understand that. He wasn't really happy with the way Lane ended it, so I don't understand him going over there other than just NIL, I'm guessing.
Just money.
Ribs.
Just money.
Um,
Yeah, it's just money.
and other than that, man, Winnie Watkins, but kind of saw that one coming.
Yeah.
Uh, what are your thoughts on Austin Simmons, man? Happy, sad?
I'm not happy about it because I feel like we lose a guy who could be a good player, and good quarterbacks don't just grow on trees. We've been blessed with a bunch of them over the years, but man, we've been really lucky with that. But I am happy for him that he's found a spot to try to kind of set things back to zero and start again. A lot of
Uh,
things happened out of his control this past year. But I'll say this, he never did one thing to cause division or to cause any kind of problem that I saw in that locker room or, whatever. He was a class act, unless there's things that I don't know about. And I don't think there is because I think it had got out. But man, he did everything right. Unfortunate set of circumstances for him. But I
Class act
really now
teammate.
that now I've told you something the other day. Now he's going to be the one exception. When I told you about anybody that leaves us, what
Yeah,
my
yeah,
thoughts on them were, I I give him a pass.
yep. I do too,
Simmons
but it's
gets
the
a
fact of
pass.
the matter is, I do think that he had a great ceiling as a quarterback. He threw some interceptions earlier this year, got hurt, but I still think, man, he had a better arm talent than than Trinidad. He was nowhere near as mobile as Trinidad was, but he could fit a ball in a window heck of a lot better than Trinidad as far as balls, throwing speed, and so I hate to lose him because, man, I honestly think with the right quarterback, I understand quarterback coach ain't changing, but another year under his belt, another time, if we don't get this waiver, I just honestly feel like, but I don't think he has to worry about a transfer portal. Isn't he a graduate?
I
Graduates
don't
can
know.
transfer any freaking time they want to, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
I I I think he probably is because dude, he's been way ahead of everything the whole
Well, he
time.
graduated. He's got a degree. He graduated college at 19, but as a graduate, he's treated as a graduate transfer, and they can remember Masoli, he could transfer when he wanted to.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
oh, we got to move on along here. Try to keep this one. Obviously, Eccles looked like there's a possibility he might have been down there in Baton Rouge. Man, I feel like he is not in the portal, from what,
No.
and he didn't even request to be in the portal, according to
Yeah, I
Chase
don't know
Parham.
what that. I don't know what all that was.
Uh, only other thing I want to talk about there, unless you got some more there, is Trinidad. So here's what I seen yesterday. It was in the Caden Lee thread, but this was or one of the Caden Lee threads. But Rebels 247 beat writer Chase Parham brought up that Ole Miss is very confident that Chambliss will be the quarterback of the Ole Miss Rebels in 2026.
Where was
Uh,
that posted?
it was in the Caden Lee and a possible conundrum thread. Did you see that thread?
I did not see that. Who posted that quote?
The
Or who
Chase.
Chase wrote that?
Chase wrote it. It was his post. I just sent you a link to the actual. to the thread, and it's about 4 or 5 posts up from the bottom on page 1 of it. But anyway, he did say I don't know when that decision is coming, but obviously if Ole Miss is confident, I mean they know something that we don't know here. So I know they filed suit. That's all I know, and I'm not a lawyer, so I decided I wasn't going to read the.
Ole
I wasn't
Miss
even
is
going to.
confident Chambliss will be the quarterback in 2026.
Yep. And so if Chambliss is coming back, Caden Lee, the problem there goes away.
Yeah, and I'm kind of mixed on that, man. On that line of thinking from him.
Now, I do know this. Chase normally. That's why a lot of times they do get scooped a lot by other people. Jump out there because Chase and them will not go public with anything until they know 100%
Yeah.
on something. So when he says that, I feel like that's the way it is.
Yeah.
That Keith is confident that's going to happen that way.
But what's gonna? I mean, they have to know one way or the other from Caden Lee by Tuesday. I don't expect to know anything on Chambliss by Tuesday.
No, I don't know. Honestly, he can be in the portal. Just don't sign with somebody. He can leave himself as not contact. Do not contact.
Yeah.
Until the decision's made. So, but other than that, man, that's about all I have for portal to go over. Unless you had something you wanted to hit on.
Not really. Just the Daughtery thing was if Caden Lee stays, Daughtery I think will be the most disappointing guy.
Yeah.
LSU's not going to pay the rev share buyout on Princewell. I'll be surprised if he's not at Ole Miss in 26.
Yeah. Unless as we know, Lane's just trying to wreck us. Here's the funny thing that I saw the other day, and this is absolutely the truth. The man leaves us to go to LSU because he can't build the roster he wanted to build at Ole Miss, and what's he trying to do when he gets to LSU?
Gets Ole Miss players.
Gets the Ole Miss roster. I mean, it don't make no damn sense.
Yeah.
Obviously, he got all the players he wanted.
Yeah. I think Daughtery is the biggest. Daughtery leaves the biggest hole of any guy.
It does because we weren't overflowing at linebacker.
Yeah.
But being able to keep Yamiel, and that definitely helps, especially if that Taj, the player from, I can't remember his last name now, but from Georgia Tech, if he works out to be pretty good,
Well, but the Luke Pirelli guy now, he's going to be a help too. At linebacker. Yeah, but.
Well, let's.
But for all my last portal comment, for all the BS with everything, it's going to turn out that 3-4 players go to LSU. So Pete did a pretty good job, man. By a reference, James Franklin, Virginia Tech, got 13 kids from Penn State.
Yep.
And I think that's what Lane was expecting. I think he anticipated
Lacey.
Yeah, I think he just expected kids to just be lined up to come over there with him. That ain't what happened.
That ain't what happened. And we had to expect some change, some turnover with a first-year new head coach. That's going.
Yeah, I mean, even if we weren't having a coaching change, we would have lost starters. The portal giveth, then taketh, right?
It takes away, right?
So,
well, let's talk about some good stuff for a minute, man.
Let's talk about some hoops.
Let's talk about some basketball, man. Yeah, I know you're the big, huge fan. For the first time this season, we're actually showing a daggum pulse. We've rattled off three consecutive wins in the SEC, and 2 of them on the road, right?
2 in a row on the road, and man, people just don't realize how big those road wins are, especially the win. Um, we got a ranked win at Georgia Tuesday night. That Georgia's got a good team. They beat Arkansas yesterday, who is really good. So having that on the resume is really going to be nice come Selection Sunday. And then the win yesterday in Starkville, that's always nice under any circumstances. So yeah, we're sitting at 3-2, and offense is flowing better. We've got AJ Storr going. He's played very well the last few games. Carmodine has played well too, and it ain't perfect. I mean, there's still some problems, but man, 3 wins in a row, like you said, 2 on the road. I'll take it every time. I'll take it. And
Well,
we got a very winnable game Tuesday night in Oxford against Auburn.
against Auburn. Yep.
And so we need to get that one bad because the following Saturday we go to Kentucky. And that's going to be tough. So we don't need to go 0 for 2 next week. So that Auburn game is huge.
Well, I told you last week I never expected a Beard coach team to struggle the way these guys have. I felt at some point something just was sooner or later he's going to kick their ass and figure out some way to get them going. And I
Yeah.
don't know what the spark was, but it seems like they've had. You've always told me there's nothing like home court advantage like it is in basketball.
Yes,
Uh,
that's huge.
uh,
So to
and
get
so
those road
when
wins is monumental. And I think part of the turnaround is he's done this ever since he's been here, but he's been experimenting with all of these lineup combinations because we play a lot of people. We play 8 to 10 kids a game. And so he's been experimenting with the chemistry on who's in with who and all of this stuff. And that's a big deal in basketball. And I think we've got it at least a pretty good starting 5 dialed in. And yeah, man, that's looked really good. I mean, a Beard team is always going to defend, so that's there. And now we're putting the ball in the basket.
Yep, and
So
at the end of the day, that's what basketball is. You don't win a game if you don't
that's
put it in
what.
the basket.
No,
So, well, I don't want
no,
to
you
talk
got to
about
score.
basketball. I don't want to talk about basketball and all of that without bringing up uh, Coach Yo and her Lady Rebels, man. Uh, me and you, we're going to obviously be more in line with the men's sports, but got to be proud of that, huh? I mean, 16-4 overall, 3-2 in the conference, and they're ranked to 16th in the nation nationally right now, and they have 2 really good ranked wins over Notre Dame and Oklahoma.
Yep, yep, they've played well. They took a beating today, but
They
overall
did. They
they've
did lost the game.
yeah, they got hammered today on the road, but. The biggest story with Coach O right now is her going on Stephen A. Smith's show next week, and I forget the exact day, Tuesday or Wednesday, I believe, this coming week. And she says she is going to set him straight about the comments he's made about Oxford and Ole Miss. So good for her.
Absolutely,
Because
man, because he
she's
sure enough.
going, yeah, he said some stupid stuff lately, which ain't nothing new for him, but this time it hits home and it's personal. But she's going to put it in a way they can understand it, and she's going to be able to say some things that some other folks can't say. And good
Yeah,
for her. I appreciate her doing that.
absolutely, absolutely. But I
Yeah,
got to watch that. I got to
yeah.
watch that. And I'm
I'll
not,
find
and I
out.
can't say it.
Yeah, I'll find out when exactly it's going to be and let you know.
All right. Well, that
Anything
pretty
on the
much wraps
message
it up.
board last couple of days you want to touch on? Anything at all interesting? or do we leave it
Well,
alone?
I don't know if we ought to talk about it or not, but I will
Uh,
say, well, we can
Probably
talk.
not.
We can talk about it. Hell, I mean, I was upset as you were. I know I went to bed last night, had absolutely no idea. I woke up this morning and got a text from you saying, "Great win." About the
Yeah,
basketball win over state yesterday, and then I get another text from another board poster, which you know who I'm talking about.
yeah.
My friend up in Oxford. He
Oh,
said, "I
he's the
feel like
one
this is
that.
the last." He's told me outright. He said, "I feel like this is the last time. The last. This was last night was going to be Neil's last night on 247 Rebels 247." And I went, "What
Uh,
the hell have I missed?" So I jumped on the board all of a sudden because you didn't say nothing. All you talked about was the
well,
basketball win. And so I got on the
I knew
board
when
and I
I
went,
texted you
"Holy
and you
shit!"
didn't write back that I knew you were probably already asleep because this happened. This went down late last night, and so I wasn't gonna text you while you was sleeping. But man, I'm gonna tell you what. True to form, his disciples and his followers, they were
They
mad for a minute. Well, I don't understand this, but now today, as more time passes, they are coming back around in force. Well, he's got his defense team mounted, and they're
you see
doing
my
Neil's
post on
work.
that. They took their
Yeah,
time and
it,
they've got them a defense team together and they're out in force defending him. But
they let it soak in, and they just needed enough time to figure out how he really didn't mean it, or everybody
I had to
says
spin it.
dumb stuff, or whatever. And sure enough,
Uh,
less than 24 hours later, they've worked it out where, he's just fine, and we're the dummies for being upset.
And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this: I'm not. Hey, all year long we already know he makes it so painful to us to know he's not an Ole Miss fan. So all right, man, we already know that you're not an Ole Miss fan. All right. So I'm not mad about. Honestly, I'm not mad about him saying. I know that don't sound right, but I'm mad about though him always telling us uh,
He's above
how
fandom.
yeah, all over. We all overreact. We get too emotional about Ole
Yeah,
Miss
too
football. We get
emotional.
this.
Yeah,
We're too emotional and all that. Yet he let his emotions go way too far with a guy that's on the coach that's over the team that he represents out there, and so it was a hypocritical way to handle it. And here's the thing, man. This is all about an NBA game that I am quite certain he ain't got nowhere the time or money invested into that me and you do in Ole Miss football, Ole Miss in general, basketball, baseball,
dude,
golf. It
he
don't
ain't
make a
got
damn.
nothing invested.
Uh,
Couple of
and yet
sweatshirts he bought. I mean,
he let his damn time, he let his feelings get the most of him in that. Man, that was crazy.
yeah, that
Uh,
was crazy.
and none of his two mea culpas did he put out there today. None of them did he address that part. All he did is says
Right.
I said things I didn't mean, and he expects me to
Yeah.
believe he didn't mean it, but he didn't address what we're actually the most pissed off about.
Yeah. Oh, he meant it. he meant, he meant every word of it. And I think another thing that hit wrong is him taking a shot at college sports in general. Mocking us for following kids who don't care. I forget exactly how he said it, but
Called it. We're all for laundry. That's how
yeah, they wear
he
the
said it.
laundry of and on a certain plot of land with buildings on it, or just bizarre, man. I'm realizing he's a very strange guy, man. He
Well,
really is. And I'll stand by what I've said from the beginning. His loyalty that he's built with that community is downright strange. It's not normal. It's just weird.
it's a phenomenon
And
that
then
we
the
have
other
never had.
comment he made, I don't have to pretend to like them on a personal level. That's the quote. That's what he said about his paying customers.
Yep. But they're fine
I
with
need
it.
to stop.
And to defend him because,
Yeah,
how'd you put
I
it
need to
today?
stop.
Yeah, we need to stop. I don't want to bash him because I don't. I never have liked his writing. You knew that. I've told you that all the time. I can't stand his writing style, but I actually enjoyed his podcasts. I've enjoyed them. It's a different style of medium. I'm fine with it. I ain't got to try to stay awake reading him because he writes War and Peace. Read that.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the things he put in there. There's another article today, but man, we've beat this week down, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Uh, but I do want to bring up one thing, one little programming note before we sign off here, folks. Since the end of football season is upon us, we'll be going down to one episode a week for the remainder of the sports year. We may throw a few bonus episodes or something like that in there if this basketball team can keep this run up and make a postseason run. And same for the baseball team as they get started, and if they get, go deep in the postseason. We might throw a few bonus episodes in the middle of the week, but
So,
till late August, I figure, when we start up the fall football campaign, we'll start back up with our two episode thing.
so when does baseball get kicked off? I know it's
February 12th, I think, is
February
first.
12th.
I think, and I've got a special guest I'm gonna bring in the week before. Follows Ole Miss baseball like me and you follow football and you follow basketball and stuff. And I've already kind of prepped him a little bit on what kind of questions we'll ask so that he can not get blindsided and not have anything in front of him, some
Yeah,
to write
right.
it up. But you'll like him a lot, man. But I feel like still we can handle everything we're going to do with just one episode a week from here on out, unless we get into that postseason type runnings in basketball and baseball. We might want to just 1 week here, right before regional starts or something in baseball, do a Thursday taping or something,
Yeah,
but just to get a special episode out. But
yeah, I'm good with that.
all right, and well, that's pretty much it for this episode. Episode 15's in the books. If you like, folks, what we're putting out there, please subscribe, like, and share. And as always, comment. Let us know what you think we can do better. Until then, hotty toddy, Rebel fans.
Alrighty, Toddy. See you next time.
Sir.